quirky and eccentric monitor of the Genesis installation, and saviour of Blue Team.
I serve the villagers.
This is the story of 031, Exuberant Witness. Exuberant Witness was charged by the builders to serve as the caretaker of their Genesis installation. This was prior to the Great Purification, when the Foreigners fired 7 Halo rings to stop the Flood during the Foreigner Flood War in 97,445 BCE. For almost 100,000 years, she remained the monitor of Genesis. During this time, she found herself becoming increasingly lonely. Sometime in late 2557, after the events of Halo 4, Cortana was uploaded into the domain when the Mantle's approach was destroyed. The approach tried to escape into slipstream space before its destruction and ended up crash landing on Genesis. Cortana then began working with the Foreigner Ancilla meaning AI, Warden Eternal. She intended for AIs to claim the mantle of responsibility and with so, use the Guardians to police planets and enforce their rule, giving them total control of the galaxy. The two Ancilla used Genesis as their base of operations, and also as a place to store the Guardians, of which they were awakening across the galaxy. Exuberant Witness, being the protector of Genesis, obviously opposed to this plan, but was shunted aside by Warden, and Cortana revoked most of her administrative privileges. Blue Team arrived on Genesis on a Guardian at Cortana's request. However, when they arrived, they realised her plan and quickly opposed. Shortly after, Fireteam Osiris arrived at Genesis in the same manner on board a Guardian to locate Blue Team and stop Cortana. After making contact with John 117, Exuberant Witness met Osiris and revealed her intent to help them. She provided them with one of the new M820 Scorpions she found amongst the debris that travelled to Genesis on board the Guardian 3209. Exuberant helped Osiris fight their way through large numbers of Prometheans and Covenant to get to the gateway on Genesis, where they would meet up with Blue Team and eventually stop Cortana. Exuberant and Osiris finally entered the gateway after defeating many different bodies of Warden Eternal and met up with Blue Team. However, as they did so, Cortana teleported Blue Team away to her location, where they were eventually stored in a Krypton. When Exuberant found out about this, she led Osiris to their location as the Guardians began leaving Genesis. She had them destroy several nearby gravitational cores that were holding up the Krypton, which was floating nearby. She then had them activate a terminal, which lowered it, but Cortana retrieved it and began to take it with her as she left Genesis aboard a Guardian. As Cortana left Genesis, she began disconnecting herself from the installation, allowing Exuberant to regain some of her control Cortana had taken away from her when she arrived. Exuberant had Osiris activate 2 auxiliary power stations to help her regain her original control of Genesis. She provided them with a passage to Cortana's Guardian and the Krypton, and the Spartans rushed to stop Blue Team from leaving. They pushed through the Guardian's shockwaves, each one increasing in intensity. Locke eventually managed to reach the relay terminal, which was giving Cortana her control, and destroyed it, which reinstated full control of Genesis to Exuberant Witness. Exuberant deployed a swarm of constructors to retrieve the Krypton from Cortana's Guardian, of which she was leaving the installation on. The constructors brought the Krypton to Osiris and freed Blue Team. Osiris and Blue Team then returned to Sanghelios to discuss how to stop Cortana, and Exuberant stayed with her installation, now with her power over it fully reinstated. Overall, Exuberant was a really interesting addition to Halo 5's campaign, and I really enjoyed fighting the Covenant with a monitor floating above my head once again, providing quirky comments in the heat of battle.
Do you hear me? I have control again!
Kind of reminded me of old times.
Excellent.
I also thought her kind of zoo on Genesis was a really cool idea. It actually made me feel sorry for the crawlers and somehow the soldiers and knights too. I don't know, the knight just looked really sad.
Knight, kind of making me feel sad for him.
Their little arms always creep me out.
Thanks for watching, guys. I'm bringing out another story video probably late this week or early next week about the Warden Eternal, which is going to be really interesting, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. So if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like. Tell me in the comments down below what you think of Exuberant Witness. I'd be interested to hear your guys' thoughts on her, and if you like her or not. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay hidden.